There we go. So welcome to Starting a Business. My name is Gavin Taylor. I'm the Financial Literacy Manager for the Urban League of Essex County, and I work in the Financial Opportunity Center. We are about to get started with today's presentation. Again, I know that you're going to really get a lot of information out of this. So let me just do a couple of housekeeping things as we get started. I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. If you have not already done so, please type your first and last name in the chat box. This is so we can take attendance. If you can't type your name in right now, what we'll do is we'll take attendance from you at the end of the session. For all of you that may be on your cell phones and you can't type the information in, that's okay. Just make sure you let me know at the end of this session so that we can take attendance on you. But for those of you that can type your name in the chat, please type your first and last name in so that we can take attendance. I'm going to also ask everybody that's on the line right now, if you can place yourself on mute, we'll greatly appreciate it. We want to limit the background noise and just make sure that, we're able to hear the speaker as she's speaking. And also, this is an interactive session, right? So we want it to be interactive. So if you do have a question, you can most definitely take yourself off mute just to ask the question, or what you can do is if you're not comfortable with asking the question with everybody hearing you, you can always type it in the chat and I'll keep my eye on the chat so that, we can answer those questions. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. But before we do, I'm just going to give you some very brief information about some of the stuff that we're doing at the Urban League. We have started multiple workshops, and we want to make sure that you guys have the information on them. We have our financial capability workshop that we do every second and fourth Thursday of the month at 9 a.m. So if you're interested in learning more about financial coaching, that is the workshop for you, and like what you're going to need to have available for our one-on-one sessions. We also have our basic principles of money management workshop that we do every first Wednesday of the month at 3 p.m. And that talks about the basics of money management, understanding budgeting, saving, also things like, making sure you have an emergency fund and, just those basic principles so that everybody has a good idea of how to handle and manage their finances. We also have a credit building basics workshop at 3 p.m. every Wednesday. So the credit building workshop is actually today, right after this session at 3 o'clock. And in that session, we're going to talk more about credit and understanding how to build your credit, how to read your credit report, how to understand your score and build your score. So that'll be going on today and every other third Wednesday of the month at 3 o'clock. We also have these new workshops that we have just started. It says upcoming. I gotta change that because we're here, right? Starting in July. We're already in July. And we had our first intro to investing workshop last Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Today, we're doing our steps to starting a business. So this is going to be fantastic. This is the first one that we're doing, but not the last. And we also have our preparing for final expenses workshop. That's going to be the last of the fourth Wednesday of this month at 2 o'clock. To come, we also have several other workshops that are coming up. I just had a meeting today. We're going to have some workshops on Social Security and understanding your Social Security benefits. We're going to have workshops on estate planning. So there's going to be a lot of different workshops that are coming up. So please keep your ear to the ground and listen for those upcoming workshops. I also mentioned to you that we have one-on-one financial and credit coaching that's available. So if you're a USJP applicant, you're going to get in contact with Ms. Howard or your representative so that you can find out how to become a member of the Financial Opportunity Center and get that one-on-one coaching. The same thing with employment coaching. And the only thing you don't need to become a Financial Opportunity Center member for is our free tax preparation program. So we are actually still in the middle of doing free taxes. And we do that, throughout the year, all the way until about October, November. So if you still need to get your taxes done, we can still do them. If you need back taxes done, we can go back up to 3 years to do your taxes. So take advantage of the programs that are available. And finally, we have our housing department that's first-time homebuyers programs and rental and utilities assistance. All right, so these are some of the things that are available at the Urban League of Essex County. Again, make sure that you take advantage of the programs that we have available. They are free of charge, and utilize them. All right, so with that being said, I am going to be calling out right now Miss Laverne Spruill from Spruill Business LLC. Now, first of all, I've known Miss Laverne for a number of years, and she has helped me in a lot of my business endeavors. Some of you that don't know me, I have an LLC. I actually started out as a contractor for the Urban League before I actually became an employee. So for several years, I was a contractor, and I ran it through my LLC. And Miss Laverne really assisted me with getting all of that paperwork, getting all of that started and going. I also, just some of you don't know that I'm also a pastor. I have a church, and we needed to get our nonprofit organization going, our 501c3 and all of that stuff. And Miss Laverne also did all of that paperwork for us and got us through all of the red tape that the government puts you through in order to get your, get everything off the ground and running. So again, I'm not bringing somebody on here that I don't know what they can do, or I'm not sure what their services are about. So she knows exactly what she's talking about, and she can really be of great assistance to anybody that's looking to start a business. So without further ado, I am going to bring up Miss Laverne Spruill. I'm going to stop sharing so that she can share her screen, and take it away, Miss Spruill. You're on mute. You're on mute right now. You're muted. Oh, there you go.
I am so good for that. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for taking this time out of your busy schedules in the middle of your day. You could be relaxing, doing lunch, or just catching up on some things with work, but you thought it not robbery to take this time out to benefit yourselves and to be able to take your businesses, projected businesses, prospective businesses to another dimension. So with that being said, let's move right along. I'm going to share my screen. As Mr. Taylor has, and I appreciate the introduction, so adequately put, I have been doing business entities now for over 35 years, just assisting people on developing their business. It started out by a lot of people doing it on their own and kind of getting confused, lost, paperwork all over the place. And I began to help them weed out their process. And I said, I need to do this from the beginning and help people navigate through it so that they're not double backing or backtracking and trying to clean things up. So that's how Spruill Business Services LLC got started. And just recently this year, I rebranded myself to Success Beyond Strategies, because what I found myself doing was assisting businesses, entrepreneurs in developing business strategies for their business, in addition to building their business from the ground floor. I wear many hats. I was known as the business midwife because I help people take their vision, mission, and purpose and birth it into a legal reality, taking them through the trimesters of business. Then when I began to go back to financial school, there's a university that I'm connected to called the Magnet Exchange Group. And then they gave me the hat of marketplace midwife, because now I'm gravitating more into the marketplace from the standpoint of business investments, looking at the trends of how our financial world is drastically changing. So over the course of this year, on the third Wednesday of every month, we're going to touch base on some of those changes as well, because they are coming very fast. But for today, we're here to go through some of the basics, the ground floor information of how to prepare your business for success and to provide services. Setting up your business. It all starts with a vision. It all starts with that idea, that innovation that came across your heart and your mind that you've probably been carrying for years, for months, and you just haven't gone anywhere with it. So what I help you do is write the vision down and make it plain. I don't know where everyone is spiritually, but I am a believer, so I am going to be crossing over, not to offend anyone, but I can only share what has worked for me and what has worked for my clients and customers, and it is what it is. So the first thing we do is I help you plan out and take from your mind and from your heart the vision, that special gift, that special plan that you were given to put on paper. So this way you're doing a mental expulsion of your mind so that it's not heavy on your heart. And you would be surprised as you begin to write the vision down and clarifying it. This is how your team is formed, because whatever you've been given, it is not just for you, by you. You are the steward over it. You are shepherding over it. You're making sure that it is doing what it needs to do, being effective in the communities that you're serving or your ideal clients that you're serving. So you want to make sure that you have the details. And this is where the strategy begins. This is the strategy process that begins in writing the vision down, writing your purpose, writing your action plans. So we talk about the different plans, the business plan itself, that is the plan that assists you in being able to go into any funding arena to obtain funding for your business. We're going to talk about choosing your business entity, because there are various types of entities, and you have to look at your vision, mission, and purpose and see what entity best fits your vision. It could be a for-profit, it could be a nonprofit, or tax exempt, as it is officially called, because all businesses make a profit. It's just the difference between a for-profit business and a tax exempt business. The tax exempt business, or 501c3, and there's various 501c classifications as well. So we look at what your business is looking to accomplish and making sure that we are fitting your entity in that space. Then establishing a filing system. I cannot begin to tell you how critically important it is to have a filing system. I know some of you may have that kind of desk where I call it organized chaos. You know where everything is, but no one else can tell where everything is. It's okay to a point, but there are certain core things that you must have an established filing system. Unfortunately, the reason why over 80% of businesses were not able to take advantage of the funding opportunities that came as a result of the pandemic, and yes, you heard me correctly, that's what I call it, a pandemic. And we'll go into the months and reasons as to why I refer it to as that. They were not able to receive funding because they did not have a sound financial filing system. Eventually, we're going to talk about what the purpose of a Dun & Bradstreet registration, SAM.gov registration, grants.gov registration process for those that are looking to acquire government funding. Business presence, how important it is, especially in this day and time, to have a sound business presence within technology, within social media. And we may talk about some outsourcing of services that I connect to in my business, Success Beyond Strategies. Okay. The vision. A vision not written down is simply a dream. It's something that's in your head, in your heart, but until it's written down, that's when it officially becomes a vision. It is written in detail. It is written in dimensions. They come with dates, and it becomes a plan that God can breathe upon, provide you the resources for, and make and bring to life on your behalf for the purposes of the services that you're looking to provide. Setting up your business. Examples of the importance of taking the vision out from your head and your heart and writing it down are the building of the ark by Noah. God gave him specific dimensions that he had to go by. The building of the tabernacle of Moses. God gave Moses specific dimensions for the tabernacle, Solomon as well. Even building the walls and the gates around Jerusalem by Nehemiah had specific dimensions as to how it is to be structured. Even writing the book of Revelation by the Apostle John, he had to write it down and make it plain. And if all of these great men of God had to write it down, guess what? So do you. A vision is a process before it gets on the board, meaning that when you write it down, then there's a visual. We are all learners on different levels, but I encourage everyone to learn on every level that's available, meaning learn from visual, learn from hearing, learn from comprehending and understanding. So before you can get pictures of what your business is to look like, see your persons coming into your establishment and purchasing whatever products or services that you have. If there's a service that you provide, you need to put a vision board together. But before a vision board is done, you need to write the vision down so that you know what you are putting on your board. Even for business, you need to have a vision board. Now, setting up your business plan preparation, these are the areas of a business plan that will also help you develop your vision, your mission, your purpose. There are 5 main categories of a business plan. That's your startup business plan, your internal or your infrastructure to your business plan, the strategic part of your business plan. How do you plan to execute the services that you're looking to provide? Feasibility, you need to ask yourself, am I meeting a need? Am I solving a problem? Am I being an answer? This will cause you to say that this plan is feasible, it's doable to execute and come out with results. Your operations business plan, how are you going to operate your day to day? Even if you're starting out as a small mom and pop organization, you still need to start with a business plan structure, strategies, and a strategy for your growth. Okay, you've started this business. 3 years in, what does this business look like? 5 years in, what is your business to look like? You need to have, again, all of this adds to your visual of how your business is going to look as the days, weeks, months, and years go by. The 10 components of a business plan. Your executive summary, meaning your opening. How are you going to introduce your business to the public? Your company description. You want to be specific. What services you provide, what products you provide, some of the outcome of what your products or business is going to serve. Your market analysis. You need to know your industry, whatever industry you're looking to do, even in the nonprofit or tax exempt sector. You need to know what is your market. Is there a need for the services that you're providing? And some of you, you know that there's a need for what you do, but you want to make sure that you are targeting the areas of your market that is actually meeting that need that another company might be meeting, but not as uniquely as you would provide that need. Your competitive analysis. Now, the competitive analysis is taking on different definitions, different structure, different appearance, because a lot of times it's not so much the other person that's doing something similar to what you're doing and how you can do it better, but it's also looking at from a community perspective, because times coming are going to dictate that you do things on a community-minded level, making sure that you are meeting the needs of the industry, but also of the community. So your real competitiveness is coming against what is coming to the people that your business is going to meet that need. That's the true competitiveness at this point. Description of your management and organization. What does your management team look like? What does your organization team look like? And that's another word for an employee, but I'd rather call it an organization, because you want people in this day and time, now that they have found another alternative to working for a major corporation or a major business, you need to still have that type of camaraderie with your organization, with your employees, with your business team, with your management team, that they will want to come to work for you because they enjoy working for you and with you. That is so critically important. Yes, customer service is a huge deal. I really don't care how technological we become or we gravitate to, where we're seeing the absence of physical people. I was in my finance class just this morning, and we were showed a Bank of America that has no employees on the inside of it. It is totally 100% automated. You come in, there's 4 ATM machines, there's 4 private booths with a computer at the table, and you're sitting down at that table and you're conducting business without the absence of a physical bank manager or teller. We are moving to that arena. So when you're sitting down with your vision, mission, and purpose, you need to have the evolution or the evolving of where our society is going, what the technology is moving towards. So in your development of your vision, it's important for you to be open to the growth process of where the direction of our nation is going, your local community is going. And this is the perfect time to establish a business, because you can help your local community, you can help your general area of community migrate into this new process. And it begins with you. Having a marketing plan. How are you going to get people out there to understand what you do? So if you're not internet savvy, if you're not social media savvy, I encourage you to change your mindset, because that is where you're going to have to go to reach the masses of people on a larger scale and in a more timely fashion. Your sales strategy, if you're marketing a product in addition to a service or in lieu of a service, you need to make sure that you have a sales strategy in place where you know the cost of your goods, you know the cost of your services, you know the cost of your time for yourselves, for your employees, or for your staff, for your community, for your organization, so that you're making sure that your prices are not only just affordable, but cost effective to keep you in business. Because at the end of the day, the main objective for being in business, in addition to providing a product and a service, is to make a profit. Now, the 6 common business entity types is a sole proprietorship, an S Corp, a general partnership, limited partnership, limited liability company, which has multiple LLCs to it. You can be a sole proprietor LLC, you can be a limited partnership LLP, or you can have a triple LLP, which is in conjunction to an S Corp. We'll talk about that on one of our other sessions. And of course, what is common is the C Corp. That's where your tax exempt organizations, or if you're working a major corporation, that's the status that you would be connected to, that has not only a board, but it also has options of stock and different things of that nature. So the most common one we're going to go through, and that is the LLC, which stands for limited liability company. It's a business structure that protects the personal assets of the business's owners, referred to as members. If the business gets tangled in legal challenge or trouble and is sued by a debt collector or a plaintiff or creditor, can only go after the business's assets, not the personal assets of the LLC member, such as yourself. If the LLC is taxed as a sole proprietorship, it has the tax advantages of being a pass-through entity, which means its profits pass through the business to the LLC member so that they can report the profits on their personal tax returns rather than filing a corporate tax return. In other words, you would file a 1040, you would file a Schedule C and a Schedule SE. You will give yourself a salary through the LLC, great or small. It's given on a W-2 or 1099, preferably a 1099, so that it can go through your personal tax return rather than filing a corporate tax return. This is on the Schedule C, you will have the LLC's tax ID number so that the Internal Revenue Service knows that you are a sole proprietor to this LLC business. Now, the tax advantages are not as many as if you are an LLC with an S Corp classification, and we'll go through that in our later sessions as well. As I've just forestated, alternatively, an LLC may be taxed as an S Corp, which means the member must be paid a reasonable salary, which the LLC reports as a business expense and deductions from payroll taxes. The business's remaining profits are distributed as dividends, or they refer back into the business as the business continues to operate on a daily basis, also known as owner's equity. The key takeaway, an LLC is a shield of personal assets of the members of the business from the business creditors. It is a pass-through entity so that LLC members report earnings on their personal tax returns. What is an S Corp? An S Corp, also referred to as a subchapter, is a tax election that lets the IRS know that your business needs to be taxed as a partnership, even without a partner. It also prevents your business from incurring corporate level double taxation. So to become an S Corp, your business must first register as either a C Corp or an LLC with your state. In an S Corp, the business owners are called shareholders. As an owner, you are considered an employee of the business and must pay yourself a reasonable salary. An S Corp's profits, losses, and deductions and credits are taxed on the shareholder level. A C Corp is a legal structure for a corporation in which the owners or shareholders are taxed separately from the business entity. C corporations, the most prevalent of corporations, are also subject to corporate income taxation. Whether you're for-profit or tax exempt, you are subject to corporate taxes. You're deducted from certain tax liabilities, but at some point you are responsible for taxes. For instance, if you have employees as a corporation, you're responsible for taking out taxes on your employees. So you have to file the appropriate tax documents so that your employees can then file their taxes as well. So there's that check and balance. Setting up your filing system. The first parts of your filing system is when you acquire your EIN number from the Internal Revenue Service, you required your business registration. Now, some, depending on the city and state, you definitely have to file state business registration, but some may require you to register in your city or even in your county if you're paying city and county taxes. I know most LLCs, most businesses, most home-based businesses, most entrepreneurs use their home address. This is another reason why a lot of companies LLCs and entrepreneurs could not take advantage of the benefits that were available to us during COVID, because it was because you had a home address rather than a business address. They're looking for you to be a 100% business legal entity, which means you need to have a business office address, a business phone number, a business email, not a Gmail, a Hotmail, or an AOL. You need a business website, which is a .com or a .net or a .edu, and business banking information, meaning you have to have a business account and apply for business credit. Now, you may say, but my home is my office. I have a separate area, designated area. If you don't, I highly recommend you find a room in your home that is 100% designated for your business. It technically should have a separate business entrance, but even if it doesn't, in order for you to deduct any of the business expenses on your Schedule C, you will need to have a designated area that is not shared with anything else to have it classified as a business office. But what Success Beyond Strategies LLC does is connect you to resources where you can have a virtual business office address, which is a legitimate legal business address. It is accepted by the federal and state governments as an official business address. It is 411 reachable or locatable, whether that's on Google or some other site, Yelp or another site. And it is able to receive business mail that you can have either sent to your home, or you can pick it up if the office is not far from where your residence is. We have services to assist you in getting a business phone number for some very reasonable monthly fees. Business email address as far as establishing your website. Getting your website domain name will also give you the ability to have not only a business website address, but a business email address. And with that information, you can then be able to go and open up your business bank account and begin to consider applying for business credit. It is imperative now more than ever that we must be about our Father's business in this hour and time. Whatever you have been called to do, the time is now to get it started, legal, fully operational, and serving the community. Procrastination and fear is no longer an excuse, nor is it an option. When you go before God, He will give you clarity, direction, strategies, plans, resources to execute what He has given you to do. I encourage you to trust Him. It's already prepared and ready for you to go forward. Just take the first step. Be consistent. Be determined. Be committed. Be diligent in putting together the infrastructure that you need to get your business off the ground. Let Joshua 1:9 encourage you to continue, especially when challenges come. Be bold, be strong, be very courageous, because the Lord your God is with you in whatever you are doing that He has given you stewardship to do. Trust His abilities to be able to guide and lead you, and you will make the right choices and decisions. And being connected to this platform, the Urban League of Essex County, when I looked at the agenda of all of the services, please, ma'am, please, sir, take advantage of each and every one. You might see me even more often, because no one knows everything, and always be open to learn. Be teachable, coachable, trainable, and learnable. Be open to learn, because you're going to always need to learn more about your industry, more about your products and services, more about assessing the needs of the people that you are serving, your ideal clients that you're serving. So always be open to learn. With that being said, how to reach me for Success Beyond Strategies. My website is Success Beyond Strategies. That's STRATEGZ.com. My email address is admin@successbeyondstrategies.com. I am on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. I do host a show called Business Strategies and Tips with Lady L. I do that on every Friday of the month. So if you go into any one of my social media channels and like, subscribe, hit that notification button, especially in YouTube, because there are other teachings that I've done that you can always go back in. And I always say, anything that pops up in your daily feed, it's exactly what you need to hear to help you navigate through your business journey. My phone number is there as well. 877-775-5274. But please, ma'am, please, sir, let the Urban League of Essex County be your first stop. And I'm here to assist and help in any way that I can. Me and my staff and my team are here to serve you. With that being said, I turn it back over to you, Mr. Gavin.
Thank you so much, Ms. Laverne. That was fantastic. Does anybody have any questions before we move on? Anybody have any questions for Ms. Laverne?
Yes.
Go
Yes,
ahead.
I have a question for Ms. Laverne. First of all, I'd like to say thank you very much, Ms. Laverne, for your information. It was priceless, and it goes along with a lot of things that I've learned over the years. I am in the process of starting a business. Well, it's a business that I've had pretty much nurturing and molding for the last several years. And I'm now ready to kind of launch it, but I would need help such as what you have explained. So my question is the cost of this type of service that you present to the participants today? What is the cost?
I am probably the most reasonably priced persons you're going to run into, because
Okay.
most of the industry that charges anywhere starting at $5,000
Mhm.
for the services that I provide, but I don't charge anywhere near that. I do
Okay.
work with you because one thing I've learned about my calling in this, most people that start off in business from the ground floor, they're taking a portion of their weekly or monthly salary to put into this business. It wasn't like they planned it to where they began to save up for it, for the expenses. A lot of people don't do their due diligence in counting the cost before it's time to get into business. They're just excited about what God has put in their spirit, and they're writing it down. They're doing their due diligence in some of the aspects of a business plan.
You went on mute. 1 second. You went on.
Well, I don't know who did that.
All right, you good now.
Yeah, they don't plan for it financially. So I do establish payment plans. There is a unique difference because everybody may not need everything. So there's packages I have, there's a la cartes that I have predicated on where you are in your business. Okay. So yeah, we discussed that in your personal consultation. Depends. There are times that I do give discounts and perks, and I run specials. So it depends. I'll show back up my information. Just reach out to me. I'm here to work with you, not against you.
Sounds good. And I thank you very much for that clarification. I know that as a client of Urban League of Essex County, that it's best that we go through our case managers and so any kind of appointment. But given that, I'm very interested in being in associating myself with your business. So inshallah, God willing, you'll see more of me.
Awesome. And your name?
Latifa Muhammad.
Latifa.
Latifah. I always say the same way the Queen spells it, but
I know that's right. Ain't nothing wrong with saying that.
And Muhammad is
I'm looking forward to the opportunity to
Muhammad.
serve you, Madam Muhammad.
Yes,
Awesome.
ma'am. Thank you.
Yes.
We have Miss Kim Clark with her hand up. Ms. Clark.
Good afternoon. I really wasn't interested in opening a business, but I just created something. And I'm interested in opening my own business.
Wow.
Because I created something, it's amazing. So, I mean, it's nothing no one else got.
Don't say what you created. Don't say it yet. Don't want nobody steal your idea. Make sure you keep it close to you.
Yeah, we don't need to discuss exactly what it is. Keep your conversation in generalities because quietness is kept. I got to share this with you guys. When I was 8 years old, I said, wouldn't it be nice or wouldn't it be neat to have a windshield wiper on the back end of your car? You know how the vans have the windshield wiper? I was 8 years old. I shared that with a family member. Oh, they ain't gonna do nothing like that. That was my invention at 8 years old. Then I went so far as to say, it would be nice to have the windshield wipers on the headlights. The only car company that did that was Volvo. That was my idea too, at 8 years old. If your children, I'm saying that to say this, if your children, if you see their gifts, their talents, their calling, welcome to parenthood. It's an investment. Nurture it, whatever investment financially you need to make in it, please don't ignore them. There's a young lady who took lemonade, put her stamp on it. She's probably about 10 or 12 years old now. She is a millionaire.
Yes.
Don't ignore your kids.
Yep.
There's a young man, he's in his teens. He's probably in his early, maybe 19, 20 by now. He designed bow ties.
Yes.
Steve Harvey took his invention, sponsored him or did whatever he needed to do. His whole bow tie line is in Steve Harvey's clothing line. Mm-hmm. He said the only reason why he wants to go to college is to learn how to manage his money. I said, well, you may not learn it there unless you're taking a finance class. So you better find some other millionaires that know how to manage their money.
Exactly.
And you don't have to go to college. Not putting college down because I love college. But I'm just saying, don't despise anything that comes into your heart. There's another invention that I drew up with a 98-year-old woman who I was living with to assist her and her family. And she helped me draw it and design it. There was only one thing missing from this invention that got out that mine had, and it was a handle. It came out that following Christmas because I didn't follow through on it. And what it did, my understanding of why I came up with the invention, I was looking at people that may have had surgeries at that time. My bishop had a very serious surgery and she was having some challenges in reaching her back while she was bathing. And I looked at it from a standpoint of elderly people who may not have a good grip. And it was lightweight, the whole nine. That invention came out that December when I didn't pursue it that August or September of that year. So I'm saying that to say this, and I have an invention in my mind now that I'm not saying anything to anybody until I get it where it needs to go. There's some things you tell, there's some things you don't. You have to keep it between you and God alone until you have gone through the due diligence of finding out the processing of patenting, trademarking, and copywriting your material.
Yeah.
If you are a writer, if you are a speaker, if you are one with wise sayings or what they call pithy sayings, write them down, put them in a book. You can self-publish. Get your inventions, get your dreams and your visions and your gifts and your talents out there. Get them legal right away. Because with social media being as it is, if you don't have it patented or copywritten or trademarked before you put it out there and put your stamp and your name on it, somebody will take it just that quick and run with it.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say it'll be exactly like yours, but then your patent process and your copyright and trademark process has to take another roundabout route when you are the creator of it, or it was birthed in you, was given to you. So again, I can't stress it enough. Write it down, make it plain, make it detailed, and find someone of confidence, a grandchild or something that knows how to draw or write or do something to help you put it together and get it legal and get it done. Your gifts, your talents, your callings is God's gift of wealth to you. When you pursue it and put it out there, that's where your wealth lies.
Mm-hmm.
It lies in your gifts and your talents. That's why they were given to you. Some were given more than one, but that's why it was given to you. It was given to you to serve and to bring wealth to you and your household.
All praises due to God. Alhamdulillah. That was wonderful.
Be
Thank
about
you.
whatever God has called you to do. Now is the time to do it. Your days of procrastination and fear are over. You are here today for a reason and a purpose. Hopefully, I've been a confirmation to all of you to go forward.
Yeah. We have a question. We have a question from Lori Hopkins. Ms. Hopkins?
Yes. Thank you, Lady Laverne. Everything that you said was really taken to heart. And on that note of you talking about young entrepreneurs, my son is a young entrepreneur and he has his LLC. I helped him with that. And, I'm not sure if we're doing everything we're supposed to do correctly, but he hasn't done too bad so far. But my question to you is because he's not 18 yet, we can't open a business account in his name.
Yes.
Should I just hold on until he gets to 18 and let him do it, or?
How far is he from 18?
He'll be 18 next year.
He was able to get an EIN and register that business in the state of New Jersey in his name?
I'm not sure, but I think he might have had to put my name on a lot of stuff.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
If you did, keep the process going.
Yes.
Because he's old enough to be put on an account. If you have to be the lead to that account and make it where it has his signature and yours together, being that he's still technically a minor, they should be it depends on who you talk to in the bank, and it depends on the bank you go to.
Okay.
My recommendation would be TD Bank.
TD Bank? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for that information.
Continue to make sure that you're on everything, but he should be able to sign on a bank account.
And then once he gets 18, my name can come off of all of that?
Yes, it can, if he chooses to, or you can turn it into an LLP where you're partners with him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then we still need to S-corp it.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that information.
Because I want him to get every tax benefit he's entitled to.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Yeah, I started out in banking, and I started out in the operations department in banking. And when my first experience with auditors, when they came in, when I tell you a fine-tooth comb, they fine-tooth comb. But the fact that I had an excellent manager who trained me extremely well, to dot all our I's and cross all our T's. Anything they asked for, we just popped it to them, popped it to them, popped it to them. We never had violations. We never had anything that they had to write us up about or anything. And we found ourselves in certain experiences with the Internal Revenue Service as well. Let me take the elephant out of the room about the IRS. If your documentation is in order, you have a good filing system, and you stay on top of your documentations, your returns, anything pertaining to your business, you do not need to fear the Internal Revenue Service. As many business tax deductions you can qualify for legally, as long as you are taking them correctly and you have the right documentation. Now you don't have to keep all the paper receipts. They have scanning softwares and platforms that you can upload, QuickBooks, that you can upload all of your receipts. If you keep your documentation tight and right, the IRS will never come after you. They only come after you when your documentation is shady. So just keep your documentation up, and you never have to fear the Internal Revenue Service. If you find yourself owing the Internal Revenue Service, communication is king. You have the ability to set the payment plan. It's not like a creditor or someone that they try to take out a certain percentage. They only do that when you have ignored them, ignored all their correspondence, and you're running from them or hiding from them, and then you look up one day and they've confiscated your whole bank account. You could have prevented that by having simple communication. Call them. This is how much I make. This is how much I bring home. This is how much I can pay. You know what they'll say? Fine. Just don't default on it. If all you can pay is $20, pay the $20. If you can double up on the payment, give yourself the leverage to come against them and them not come against you. If this is all you can afford to pay back, it may seem like a long time, but if you have those moments where, okay, I can send a little more, then send a little more. But on that date that you said you were going to pay it, they're looking for that $20. They're looking for that $50, whatever you said you could pay. When you've done that, when you do your tax return and you get a refund, there's two ways to go about that. If you owe IRS and you want to pay it down and your refund can help you do that, just get it in your mind that until this is paid, I'm not going to get that refund, but that balance is going to decrease as my refund is given to him. Keep a spreadsheet, because they're not going to tell you when they're going to stop. You need to know when they should stop taking your money. You ought to know when you should stop needing to send them any money. But I recommend when you find out what your tax liability is for the year, you need to put the necessary exemptions during the year so you're taking the maximum of what you earn into your household, and you're paying your tax liability even if you break even. It's better to break even and not get a refund, a lump sum refund, and get your money throughout the year than for them to borrow your money interest-free. They're not going to pay you a dime for borrowing your money that you're overpaying your taxes throughout the year. Your household needs that money. So you have to make sure you can definitely reach out to Mr. Gavin. He will tell you exactly how to calculate your tax liability, where on your W-9, you know how much to put throughout the year of your exemptions so that you are utilizing your money to its maximum capacity, meeting your tax liability so that you don't owe Uncle Sam, but at least during the year, you're getting the money that you're earning when you go to work every day. I'm a firm believer in not giving the IRS free money. And when you look, yeah, I got a $5,000, $6,000, $8,000 tax refund. You just gave Uncle Sam $8,000 of your money that they made at least 10 times on your money to them. Why? See Mr. Gavin and make sure that you are taking care of your tax liability where your household gets the most of your income that you go to hard work jobs every day and receive. Any more questions?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, Ms. Lady L,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
going back to the beginning. The sole proprietorship.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's part of my plan, but
Okay.
I'm only going to need maybe 1 or 2 people to help me. Would a LLC still come with me as a sole proprietor?
Absolutely, with an S Corp classification, so that you're
S Corp.
taking advantage of your maximum tax deductions. There's at least 475 business tax deductions that you can take advantage of. I'm on our next, if I need to forward that information to Mr. Gavin to forward to you, I think it's a book that you need to have in your library when you have, and especially when you have an LLC. You need to
Yes.
understand what your tax deductions are. It's going to take a little bit of paperwork, but if you can, because you're going to pay some taxes, you want to pay the least amount of taxes as possible. So if I could lower my tax liability by $3,000 because I'm keeping track of my business tax deductions, it's worth it. Keep all of your gas receipts. Every time you pump gas, and especially how much it costs now, ask the clerk for a receipt. FYI, if you didn't know, because see, in Jersey, I miss Jersey when it comes to pumping gas. Y'all are the only state in the country that does not have to pump their own gas. Don't take that for granted. Enjoy it. Because it gets on my nerve every time I got to stand there and pump my own gas. Jesus help me. But ask for a receipt. But for those that, if you are pumping in the physical pump, understand they're going to put a freeze on your account for almost double or triple that amount. So it's better to just go inside, get off your tutu, as my pastor says, go inside, pay for the gas, because then that's all they'll take from your card. I learned that one the hard way. I was like, where's my money? I figured that out real quick. Financial plan. Y'all call it a budget. I don't like the word budget. To me, it's restricting. A financial plan means you have flexibility. I mean, you could change your budget too, but it's just a mental thing. A financial plan, you need to be looking at your financial plan every week. Even if you only get paid once a month, even if you get paid bi-weekly, bi-monthly, but you need to look at your financial plan every week because you need to see where your money is going. You need to see where the hole in your pocket is. You need to track your credit. You get credit statements, you get bank statements, read them, look at them. Machines can make a mistake, look at them. At least know where your money is going in and out. This way, when you do I do an Excel spreadsheet, thanks to Pastor Gavin. I did this with him about 6-7 years ago. To this day, I still use that financial plan, and I look at my financial plan every week, especially if you're starting to get revenue from your business. You must look at your financial plan every week because you need to know how much of it is going to your business expenses, where you may need to cut corners or just go about a far more excellent way of acquiring the services that you need to pay for through your business and even through your personal. You need to sit down with your income. You need to see what's going on, where you need to cut corners. Technology is so today that you don't need to spend $500 on cable. There's Fire Sticks, there's other resources and other means that you can still have entertainment and not pay a whole bunch of money. For what I watch, I spend $15 a month for what I watch, because I don't watch that much. Why should I pay $300-500 for something I'm not watching all the time? So write down take all of your bills, put them in your spreadsheet and see where your money's going. See where you can call each creditor and see if they've got reward programs or any type of benefits going on, even your utility companies. See what's going on where you can cut corners on some things. So you must do that. And then take that right into your business as well. Have a financial plan for your personal and your business, and check your financial plan weekly so that you can see how your money is coming in, how your money is going out, especially for your business, because if you need to up your revenue game, you need to sell more products or move more products to increase your profit margin, because if your expenses are fixed, they're fixed. If they are non-negotiable, they're non-negotiable. So you need to know how much more revenue you need to be bringing in to meet those expenses. The only way you're going to know that is if you have a written financial plan that you look at every week.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ryan. Is there any
I have
other
a-
question? Oh, you got a question here.
Yeah.
Can you
The
explain
DUNS number.
what the DUNS number is for business credit? Yes.
The DUNS number is an entrance way to determining business credit. It kind of puts you on the map. It's like the Better Business Bureau for your business, which I do advise that you register your business with the Better Business Bureau. It's an accountability tool. The DUNS gives you the ability, they have a whole credit platform as well. They have credit assistance that helps you to make sure that you're monitoring your credit abilities as well. In addition to the fact that through Paydex, which is the company, which is it's the credit bureau for businesses. It's called Paydex, Paydex. They chart your business credit score, just like Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion tracks your personal business score. And we're going to have a whole session on business credit and personal credit, making sure that you have that in line, because that is critically important. Business credit is harder to clean up than personal credit. You get one shot and one shot only. So you need to know the difference between your billing dates and your due dates so that you are paying your bills on time in full, making sure you're only using a certain percentage of your credit allotment that's given to you. For example, if you have an $8,000 credit limit, you shouldn't be using more than $2,000 of it at any given time without paying that revolving credit back. Pastor Gavin will be the expert on that as well, because he's awesome when it comes to business credit. But the DUNS number, it helps legitimize your business within the credit world, long story short, and it's a must-have. When you're going for government funding, they were in partnership with SAMS.gov and grants.gov. They recently kind of severed their tie a little bit, but it does help when you're entering into the business credit arena to have a DUNS number, because some companies will ask you for your DUNS number if they're looking to fund your business. So just like an EIN number, you should get a DUNS number.
Hi, Lady L. This is Alice Frazier. I'm with the Urban League of Essex County.
Yes, ma'am.
I was actually the one that brought up the DUNS number because often than not, I've experienced with a lot of people that I've worked with who had their LLCs or their sole proprietorships, they've utilized for years their own personal credit and ultimately impacted them on many levels, which is why I say, if you could take the time to explain the DUNS number, because I think it's important that anyone with any type of business, sole proprietorship, LLC, that they
Absolutely
recognize that something as small as establishing a credit line for your business with Staples can help build their credit, those little purchases. But I'm going to lead with Mr. Taylor, because I know that you said that you're probably going to do a more extensive training.
We're probably going to do a
the
tag
DUNS
team
number.
on that, because yes, you are correct.
Because they
Ms.
really
Alice. That
need
is
to know that.
critically
Yes.
important. You want to separate your personal from your business, because that's the whole purpose of an LLC, not to be held liable on the personal side of your finances. So you're counteracting that when you're using your personal credit for business and your business for personal. There has to be a check and balance to that, where if you're going to lend your business money or the business is lending it to you, that there is tracking, there's checks and balances for those types of transactions and the recovery going back and forth of those transactions. Yes, that's critical. That is a must. Just like you need an EIN number, you need a DUNS number. Absolutely.
Thank you for the information on the DUNS number.
Yes.
We have a Patsy Sanford with a hand up.
Patsy?
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you so very much, Lady L, for the information for us business. I think this question will be towards Mr. Taylor. Okay, during the COVID, when there was no work available, I guess the question I need to get to the point is that my credit was damaged.
Yeah.
So how can I go about restoring my credit? Like everything has gone to charge off, everything has gone to, you know, all delinquent. I mean, it's just gone haywire. When my score at one time was 700 and something, now it's maybe 4 or something. I'm not afraid to say that because it is what it is, and I'm disappointed, but it was nothing I could do at that time. So how can I go about restoring my credit? Because I do have I'm not going to say it's a business, because when everything happened, I lost my motivation, I lost my interest, I lost everything in my business. So I'm just like at a place asking God to like redirect, you know, help me get back that drive, you know, to where I was excited about, you know, my business, you know, excited about starting another community business, helping the homeless and stuff like that. Like everything is gone because my credit is messed up. So I believe you said that you would give a session on rebuilding credit or something like
Yes,
that.
yes. Ironically, the session is right after this one at 3 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah,
Perfect
so
timing.
you should definitely come to that one.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and then the second thing is once you go through that, then we'll set up a one-on-one. So I could pull a copy of your credit report, we can review it, and then we can talk about, you know, what you can do to start getting back on the road to improving your credit. But yeah, but first and foremost, jump on this 3 o'clock session that we have on credit building basics. That's going to be very helpful. And then we'll set up a one-on-one. All right.
Will do. Thank you very much. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best.
It's fixable.
It'll be all right.
But you have to be patient with the process because you didn't get into it overnight. You're not going to get out of it overnight, but with your consistency and whatever the sessions are telling you and what Pastor Gavin tells you to do, be diligent about doing it.
Okay.
Stay with it, okay?
Thank you very much.
Stay with it.
All right. Does anybody have any other questions? This is good. You guys are really asking a lot of great questions.
I appreciate the engagement. This is wonderful.
Any other questions from Ms. Laverne or myself? Any other questions?
I just would like to say it was very informative. Thank you, Lady L and Mr. Gavin Taylor.
Thank you, Ms. Frazier.
Yep, and I'll forward my contact information to Mr. Gavin so that anyone that wants to reach out to me, feel free to do so. I'm here to help.
And please, the book, Miss Lady L, that you spoke about, the book that we to know what the taxations.
Yes.
If you could just, you know, share that with Mr. Taylor so we can share it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you for that also, Ms. L, Lady L. Thank you again.
And just wanted to let you all, I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was just going to ask, do we get a copy of the presentation? Is that being sent out, or is that something that you would get, or is not available? Just asking.
Ms. Laverne, she's asking about you're talking about the PowerPoint presentation, right, Ms. Sermon? Ms. Sermon,
Yes,
We're talking
yes.
about the PowerPoint or the recording of this session?
it's talking about the PowerPoint.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll probably put it out there to you. So you guys can go through it. Yeah, this is the.
The reason I asked is because I did get on late because I had another call. So I just came on a few minutes ago. So if other people don't need it, I would like to, get it if possible.
Okay.
Thank you.
So yeah, so Ms. Laverne, if you could send it to me, I'll make sure Ms. Sermon receives it and anybody else that wants to receive it as well. Also, this has been
Absolutely.
recorded, so if you want a copy of this recorded presentation, I can also make that available to you as well as a video or audio recording.
Yes, yeah. Will you send that through the email, a copy?
Yes, is that Mr. Larry's iPhone there? You want a copy of the presentation?
Yeah, the whole thing, because, I'm here over here at Better Life, and I'm on the floor, and I walk around with the phone, but I can barely hear most, hardly any of it. I know I missed something important.
Yeah, we can send you a copy of the recorded session that we just recorded today on audio or video. If you can drop your email in the chat, we can do that for you.
Okay, let me go find the chat.
Okay.
This is the book, 475 Tax Deductions for Businesses and Self-Employed Individuals, an A to C Guide to Hundreds of Tax Write-Offs. It's written by Bernard B. Kameroff, Kamoroff, and he's a CPA. I'll put it in the chat as well. For those that want a screenshot, you can screenshot it.
And I just wanted to let everybody know that this is the progressive workshop series that is being done. Ms. Laverne is going to be with us every single, on a monthly basis on the third Wednesday at 1 o'clock. So she's going to kind of build on what she was talking about today. So this is just kind of like an intro. Like she mentioned, we'll talk about business credit. We're going to talk about, setting up bank accounts. We'll talk about all different types of things with regards to and relating to starting a business and also growing the business. So this is not going to be something that's going to be the same thing every single time. So this is going to be a progression. So just because you got on today doesn't mean that you don't have to get on it next month. If you want to build your business, you want to grow your business, you want to get this thing taken up, getting up to the next level and getting off the ground, you want to make sure that you join every single month. All right. So are there any other questions? If not, we're going to get ready to end this session. Any other questions out there? All right.
I don't have any questions. I would just say thank you to both of y'all. That was a wealth of information.
Very, very welcome. And I want to thank again, Ms. Laverne. Thank you so much for sharing today. I thought that was fantastic.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I can't wait to
My privilege and honor.
Thank you.
I appreciate you all for having me today. Thank you.
Thank you, Lady L.
And if you haven't had a chance to already put your name in the chat, please do so right now. We appreciate you putting your name in the chat. Just type your first and last name in so that we can take attendance. If you have not done so already, we really appreciate that.
Excuse me,
Mr. Gabb, but if you're on the phone, how you gonna put your name in the chat?
Okay, well, tell me your name and I'll type it. How about that?
Okay.
What's your
My
name?
name is Deidria Smallwood, Dedria.
Smallwood?
Yes. And Mr. Gavin, you said Petty John. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry?
Patricia Petty John. I'm on the phone also.
Okay, two people are talking at one time. Patricia Pettyjohn, is that what it is?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And Verdi Williamson.
Let me stop recording.